Hi guys, welcome to Soto's Kitchen. I've got my makeshift camera here set up showing you how to make a Greek salad. And today we're going to go through the process of preparing a Greek salad. So first and foremost, you've got your ingredients. The first thing you need to know is that you have to have tomatoes, cucumbers, peppers, onions, salt, pepper, oregano, and olive oil. That's it. That's very simple. It's a very delicious appetizer. You can eat it with pretty much anything. It's authentic. The recipe I'm showing you today has been passed down from generation to generation in my family. And now I'm passing it on to you by popular demand. Here we've got some olive oil. And I'm going to pull out some salt and oregano. Here's our salt. I like to use Himalayan. Here's our oregano. I like to use stuff shipped to me from Greece. You might not find that, but whatever you find at your grocery store is good enough. I like to use organic vegetables, and I like to use the ripest tomatoes I can find. And then the other trick to the tomatoes is you don't put them in the fridge. Make sure those tomatoes are fresh and kept, in room temperature, because they're always easier to eat when they're not freezing cold in your mouth. So let's get started. There is a process for putting the salad in the bowl. The first thing you want to do is you want to cut your peppers and onions and put them in first. And I'll explain why that is here in a little bit. I'm just going to wash these up. As you can see, I'm getting a little fancy here with the cucumber. I'm actually peeling only parts of it so that it has a nice little color and texture to it. And that's how the Greek salad is done. So I'll start off by cutting some pepper and putting that in there. So, you want to use the amounts that are, that are adequate for the amount of people you have. So you can, the quantities don't really matter so much. If you like peppers, you can use more of those. If you like cucumber more than tomato, then you can change that ratio. But generally speaking, there's no rule about how much of everything goes in there. So I'm going to take my pepper and I'm going to cut that one. And I'm going to do that in thin pieces like this, bite-sized pieces. I mean, usually the Greeks like to cut this about that size right there, as you can see. And that gives it, it's not too small, but it's not too big. And that salad's gonna be really, really delicious after it's done, because it's being done and made and cooked with what? That's right, with love. So I'm going to use a little more pepper here because I'm feeding 4 people today. And you don't have to cut it this way. You can use a cutting board. I've just been doing this for so many years that I do it like that in the air. Next, we want to get our our onion. So you see I've got 2 different kinds of onion here. It's up to you. You can use red onion. You can use white onion. There's no difference really. It's just a preference. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the red because I like the red. I'm going to cut that thin as possible, okay? You can just put that in there. And you don't have to put too much onion. Actually, onion's probably the one that has the least, in terms of quantity in there. A little bit more, that should be enough, okay? Next, I want to cut the cucumber. So what I do is I take the cucumber and cut the end off, obviously, and then I'll take it and I'll just slice it down the middle like this. Then I take that and I slice little pieces into the salad. Again, been doing this for years, been doing it like this for years. I know it's crazy the way I'm doing it. Probably you people are thinking he's gonna slice his hands off, but I've been doing this for so long that I'm used to it. So now comes the tomato last in terms of vegetables, okay? And I'll explain why. The reason for this is because of, and you cut the wedge. You see how I'm cutting this wedge? And you want to cut these wedges of the tomato over the salad. You don't want to do that on a cutting board because the juice that comes out of this tomato is going to make part of the salad dressing, okay, the acidity in this tomato will balance out with the olive oil and will give you guys a delicious Greek salad. So by cutting it over the bowl, you make sure that all those delicious juices go right into the bowl. So the reason we're doing the tomato last, and you'll see just here in a second, is that I'm going to now salt the salad, okay? So salt, again, is a preference. You can put more, you can put less. I just put about that much. And then what I do is I mix the salad because I want the salt to go on the cucumbers and tomatoes more so than on the peppers and onions, because those vegetables will absorb the salt and they actually taste really good. So I'm gonna do that here, and now I'm ready for my, goodness gracious, I completely forgot about the most important thing, which is your feta and olives. So here's the feta that I use. I buy this one at Costco. It's called Koleos Organic. Pretty much buy everything organic in this house. And then I've got my olives, which I actually marinate myself. You don't have to go through all that trouble, but I'm an authentic Greek, and that's how we do it. So now, here's my marinade, and we can talk about that in a different video. But here are my olives going into the bowl. Okay. My son particularly likes these, so I'm going to use a few scoopfuls of olives here. Okay. And then once that's in there, the next step here, close this off, is to get the feta. So the feta this is organic Koleos. This is from Greece. I recommend, if you can go to a Costco or to any store that has authentic Greek feta, that's the way you want to do it. So look at how I do this. I cut off a bunch, and then the key is don't crumple it into the salad. You just want to take chunks off of it with your hands like this and put it in there, okay? So that should be enough feta for my guests and myself and my family. Okay, now at this point is where you want to put the oregano, because the oregano is going to go on the feta and the olives and the salad underneath. So there's a presentation part of the salad that you want to have here, okay? So I'm going to sprinkle some oregano, and again, I like oregano, and this is really, really good fresh oregano from Greece. So I'm going to put some on here like that. Okay, you can put less if you don't want that much. And then I take the olive oil, and my olive oil is, again, guessed it, imported from Greece. You might not have access to it, but try and find the best olive oil you can find. We're going to pour that over like this. Okay, there we go. And now, my dear friends, your Greek salad is complete. And look at that presentation, right? Look at that presentation. So that's what a Greek salad should look like. Now don't toss it until it's time for you to go and serve it at the table. Just let it sit like that, let the oil go through the ingredients, and you're done. Thanks for watching.